Hey Stampers, this is Amy Whalen with Amy's Inklings, and today I am sharing with you the card that I made for my April thank yous to send to customers who placed orders in April. This is what we're going to be making. I think it's so pretty. The background is beautiful Baroque Embossing Folder, and it is on our retired list. So if it's something that you like and have been admiring, I would suggest you order it today. The DSP that I'm using is also on a retired list. It's from the All Abloom DSP stack. So again, if you like it, I would grab them up. Alright, we're going to start with a piece of vanilla cardstock that measures 2 3/8 by 3 1/4. And we're going to use our Blushing Bride ink and this image from Flourishes. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to stamp it there. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is take a greeting from our Two Kind stamp set, which is also on our retired list, and I'm so sad because I've used this stamp set a lot and I'm really going to miss it. But it's Two Kind, and we're using this greeting, and I'm stamping it with Mellow Moss ink, just like that. I didn't show you the stamp set that this came from, but it's from Flourishes. Isn't that lovely? Use it quite a bit. Alright, so there is our greeting, or the stamped part of the card. I'm going to use a little bit of our Tombow. You know, I'm a big Tombow fan. And I'm going to adhere it to a piece of Mellow Moss cardstock that measures 2 9/16 by 3 7/16. I'm going to put that aside. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is create the embellished background. Now, I'm using the beautiful Baroque Embossing Folder, again, that's on our retired list. But I want to show you something that I learned. We're going to use a piece of vanilla cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it in the center to fold down this way. Now, when you're using an embossing folder to adorn the base of your card, it is easier to sandwich the front within your embossing folder when your card opens from the bottom instead of from the side. And I will show you why. Again, it's very simple to insert the cardstock into your embossing folder, and be sure you can tell that the image is going to go from edge to edge, and you can get it to line up right at that score line, so you know when you send it through the Big Shot, this design will be all over the edges, just like it is here. If you can see, that embossed image goes all the way over to the edge. However, I cut my cardstock last night. I made a ton of these, and I cut them this way. You can see the image, the embossing image, did not come all the way to the edge because it's harder to sandwich that cardstock. I'll do it this way just so it looks easier. It's really hard to sandwich it and get it through the Big Shot and it's just harder to make sure that the image goes all the way to the end. So just learn from me that if you're going to do that to the base of the card, make sure the card does not open from side to side, but opens this way. Just trust me, it's kind of hard for me to explain. Alright, so again, we're going to stick our cardstock into the embossing folder. We're going to use the standard pad that came with, the platform rather, that came with the Big Shot, and we're going to use platform 1. You'll put down one of your cutting plates, then you'll put your embossing folder with your cardstock already sandwiched inside, then you'll top it with your last cutting plate and you'll send it through the Big Shot. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I'll be back when it's done. Okay, I'm back. I just put it through the Big Shot, and let's see what we have. Oh, I love it. You can decide if you want the image to be coming up or if you want the image to be depressed. I like both, but for this card I'm going to make sure that the image is coming up, if that makes sense. Let me put this aside. Okay, so we can go ahead and probably start putting this all together. Oh, I missed the most important part. Our All Abloom DSP paper. Now I've already used the banner punch to cut this little piece of DSP. And I use this punch, and I'll show you how. I'm going to talk while I do this. I've used this All Abloom DSP so much that I have very little left of it, literally. I did happen to have a full sheet of this one to make the liner for the envelope, and if you come back tomorrow you'll see a video that I'm going to post on how to use our envelope framelits. But for the most part I have only scraps, and this is a great project when you only have scraps. Very good. Alright, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. You're going to notice, let's see, I'm going to keep this side of the card free of glue, and that'll make sense in just a little bit. So, let me put that there. Oh my goodness, look. It looks like I glued that a little off. Oh well. Alright, then we're going to slip these pieces underneath, which is why I didn't put glue on that edge. And again, I'm just going to use our Tombow. You know me and Tombow. We're tight. Okay, let's slip this under. Okay, and let's do this one next. And I like to space them just a smidge apart. And for this project I want them coming out the same distance. I don't want one coming out farther than the other, as I've done with other projects. And then the last bit here. Okay, just like that. See, I wanted a card, when I do my thank you cards to send to all my customers, I need a card that's quick to make and easy to duplicate, and this is certainly one of them. The last thing I did, I felt it was a little flat. I thought that it needed something. I tried pearls, I tried rhinestones, it wasn't right. So what I ended up doing was using our Dazzling Diamond glitter with our two-way glue pen. And I really did this quite quickly. I didn't spend a whole great deal of time going through all the images of the stamp. I just kind of, as you see, just kind of swirled it on in certain places. This two-way glue pen is perfect for glitter. It really is. Let's see. And I'm looking at it sideways to see if most of it is shiny. I don't know if you can tell. And it looks like for the most part it is, except for maybe right here. Okay. Yeah. Looks pretty good. So let's put some glitter on it. And we'll be done. A little bit more. And that's it. What I did not do, because I forgot to, it's right here, I didn't use my embossing buddy, which is a tool that we use when we're embossing. I think it's good to do when you're using glitter too, because it helps the glitter from sticking where you don't want it. I'm going to move this away from the camera to flick it to get the excess off. And there it is. Isn't that lovely? Love it. Alright, so check back again with me tomorrow, and I'll have a video tutorial on how to create this lined envelope to coordinate with the card. Thanks again for coming by Amy's Inklings. Bye-bye.